Hey guys, that's Communications, and this is something different. I was inspired by Matt's video. He just did a recent DVD update, and he talked about the Mammoth Book of Slasher Films. Well, I wanted to talk about this book, which for right now seems to be the only book that basically is supposedly definitive book on action movies, and that is Action. The action movie A to Z. Oh, cool, it's got RoboCop from RoboCop 2 on the cover. This would be awesome. I've wanted this book for a long time. When I finally got it, well, let's just say disappointing is an understatement. Let's read the back. It's by Marshall Julius. Here's the back. This is reading the back here. Check your favorite action movies. This is definitely a British offer. And soak up the trivia in the action movie A to Z. Satisfy your reference needs as this adrenaline-charged guide hustles at impossible speeds from the swashbucklers of the past to the stylishly violent high-tech blockbusters of today. Marshall Julius straps on his guns and wades through a minefield of macho, muscle-bound adventure, dishing out essential information on the biggest stars in the films they dominate. Hook up with the likes of Errol Flynn, Clint Eastwood, Bruce Lee, and Arnold Schwarzenegger as Action spills the beans on Born to Be Wild classics such as Action Jackson, Die Hard, Police Story, and RoboCop. Okay, so you're like, whoa, this should be good, right? But here's the problem right off the bat. This guy is not a fan of action movies. I think he's a fan of some action, but he obviously has no idea what the fuck he's talking about when it comes to shit. Okay, first off, we start off when he's talking about Above the Law. He gives this 2.5 stars. He gives Lionheart 2.5 stars. He gives Action Jackson 3.5. The Action Jackson's not better than any of those movies. He gives The Adventures of Robin Hood 5 stars, and that's not even really an action movie. That's an older classic film from back in the day. It's a swashbuckler. He gives Aliens 4. He gives American Ninja 4 stars, and I like American Ninja, but that is not better than fucking Above the Law. We continue with this shit. He gives American Ninja 2 4 stars. Wow, I'm surprised he even gave that 4 stars. Army of Darkness is not an action movie. I have no idea why it's in here. He gives Assassins 1 star, which I think is a little bit too low, even though I don't like the film, but he gives Bad Boys 2.5. Yeah, 2.5 stars for Bad Boys. Yeah, American Ninja is better than Bad Boys, even though I like American Ninja. He gives Batman 3 stars. Yeah, Batman 1989, 3 stars. He gives Batman Forever the same rating. He gives Batman Returns 2 and writes a fucking long fucking essay on it, where he says DeVito is a disappointment, and he says, so what if this movie was made money? So did Three Men and a Baby. So this guy doesn't like Three Men and a Baby, and he uses that as an example to why Batman Returns is crap. Yeah, great. Really. The Beastmaster, 3.5 stars. Yeah, Beastmaster is a higher rating than Batman. And Above the Law. Best of the Best 2 gets 2.5. Beyond the Law, I've never seen that. Big Boss, okay, Fast and Fury gets 3.5. Big Trouble in Little China gets 3. Yeah, in his mind, Action Jackson is better than Big Trouble in Little China. Continues. Well, he doesn't like Black Eagle. Oh, I'll give you a nice little golf clap. Here's a golf clap for you, Marshall Julius. Golf clap for Black Eagle. Back Rain 3, Blind Fury 3.5. Holy shit, he liked Blind Fury. I'm totally surprised. Bloodsport with 3. It's a bit low. Blue Thunder 4. Holy crap, you actually found. Broken Arrow 1.5. Let's read this fucking bullshit here, because that's fucking shit. Come on now, man. 1.5 for Broken Arrow? John Travolta and Christian Slater slug it out in John Woo's second U.S. misfire, Dire in the Desert Adventure, which passes inspection on the action front but blows it big time with senseless plot, overblown direction, a trio of characters you'll care nothing about. Alright, I'm not even going to fucking finish reading that, because that's fucking bullshit. He thinks Bronx Warriors is better than Broken Arrow. Bulletproof with Gary Busey, 1 star. It's not that great, but I don't think it's that bad. Chain of Command with Dudikoff, 2. The Chase with Charlie Sheen gets 2. Trent O'Brien 2. City Hunter 2 stars. Cleopatra Jones 2.5. Cliffhanger 4.5. Wow, really? He likes Cliffhanger, but he gives Cobra 2 stars because he says it's a movie to laugh at, not with. Cobra shoots itself in the foot by inviting further unflattering comparison to Dirty Harry by casting Randy Santoni, who played Harry's partner, as Cobra's partner, while Andy Robinson, who played Wild Eye Psycho Scorpio, turns up as a typically sore-headed police chief. The film also does itself no favors by casting Brigitte Nielsen, who was Mrs. Stallone at the time, as romantic interest with Ingrid Kunsen, pretty name, a witless witness who develops a serious case of hots for Mr. Cobretti. Still, we're not talking rocket science here. If you pick this film apart, scene by scene, or you enjoy it for the brainless nonsense that it is, worthless, violent, and kind of fun. Alright, then why did you give it 2 stars? Code of Silence, 2.5. Yeah, Code of Silence. Commando, 5. He loves Commando. Well, that's nice to see. Commando, 4 star, 5 stars. Conan the Barbarian, 3.5. Conan the Destroyer, 2.5. Convoy gets 3. The Crow, he gives 3.5. Cut the Island gets 2. Cyborg gets 2. And this is basically what he says about Cyborg. It's watchable, but only just. And 1 should be enough. That's... Death Warrant, 2. Yeah, he thinks Death Race 2000 is better than Death Warrant. Cobra, and fucking Batman. And... yeah, Death Race 2000 is better than Batman 89. Cobra... Above the Law, yeah, Death Warrant, better than Broken Arrow, my ass. The first Death Wish, he gives 2 stars. Death Wish 2 gets 1. Death Wish 3 gets 2. He gives the Delta Force 2 stars. He gives the Delta Force 3.5. He gives Demolition Man 4. Okay, good. Desperado gets 4. Wow, surprising. Die Hard gets 5. You're damn right. Die Hard 2 gets 3.5. Die Hard with Vengeance gets 3. Dirty Harry gets 5. Double Impact gets 3. That's not even one of Van Damme's best films, and that gets it's higher rating than Lionheart. Are you kidding me? Dr. No, 2.5. First Bond film, it's 2.5 stars. Wow. Drop Zone, 2.5. Dragon the Bruce Lee story gets 3.5. Drunken Master, 4.5. El Mariachi gets 2.5. The Empire Strikes Back gets 4.5. The Enforcer gets 3. Why isn't The Empire Strikes Back even in this book? Eraser gets 3.5. Enter the Dragon gets 5. Escape from New York gets 4. Excessive Force gets 1. It's not that bad. Eye for an Eye with Chuck Norris gets 2. First Blood gets 5. Well, so I mean, this isn't an even book. Like, there's some things that I like about it, and there's some things that he's right about. Flash Gordon, he gives 4, and I'm totally surprised about that. Flash and Blood, 2.5. Fist of Fury, 3.5. For Your Eyes Only, 3. Force of 1, 1.5. Yeah, it's not that bad. Force Vengeance gets 2. Fortress, he gives 2.5. 4 to 48 Hours. Free Jack gets 1 star. It's a bit too low. He says, now you have to protect your brain. Avoid Free Jack or else. Yeah, it's not that bad, dude. The Fugitive, 3.5. The Gauntlet, 3. GoldenEye gets 2.5. GoldenEye? Really? Goldfinger gets 4. Gunman gets 3. Yeah, Gunman is a better movie than GoldenEye. I like Gunman, but I don't think it's a better movie than GoldenEye. Hard Boiled gets 3.5. Not 5. 3.5. Hard Target gets 2. And he chooses this photo to display it. And he ends it basically with... Sorry, I got this mood guy's fucking hair stuck in my fucking mouth. And he's like, what the hell is that? What the hell is with that crazy hair? Really? That's all you have to say about Hard Target? That's his closing statement on Hard Target. Hard to Kill, 2.5. The Hidden gets 4. Wow, I'm surprised. Highlander gets 4. Hot Shots Part 2 gets 3. Indiana Jones and Last Creed Kids gets 3.5. Temple of Doom gets 4.5. Invasion USA gets 3.5. Iron Eagle gets 2. That's a bit low for me. Ivanhoe gets 3.5. Why the fuck is Ivanhoe on here? The Jewel of the Nile, 2.5. Joshua Tree, Army 1 gets 2. Judge Dredd, 3.5. Yes, in this guy's opinion, Judge Dredd is better than fucking Broken Arrow, or Above the Law, or any of fucking Seagal or Van Damme's films. Are you fucking kidding me? Judgment Night 3, Kickboxer 2, Killer gets 3.5, King Solomon's Mines gets 1. Actually gave it a half a star. He hates it that much. Last Action Hero, 1 star. It's a bit low. I don't like the movie, but it's a bit low. Last Boy Scout, 3.5. Legend of the Seven Golden Vampires, 2.5. Leon the Professional, 4.5. Lethal Weapon gets 5. Lethal Weapon 2 gets 4. Lethal Weapon 3 gets 2.5. License to Kill, 3. Live and Let Die, 4. Living Daylights, 1.5. One of my favorite Bond films, 1.5, really. I like License to Kill. At best, this is an average 007 adventure, moderately entertaining, rarely dull, and fairly slick, but Dalton, his hands tied but overcautious screenplay is simply no fun at all. With 1.5 stars? Dude, do you even know how to rate movies? If you thought it was, an average 007 adventure, that would mean you would give it 2. Or at least 2.5. Lone Wolf Quaid, 2.5. Really? 2.5 stars for Lone Wolf Quaid. Mad Max gets 4. Mad Max 2 gets 5. Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome gets 1.5, and I don't have a problem with that for once. Man of Force, 3.5. Man with Golden Gun, 2.5. Marked for Death, 3. Martial Law gets 2. Master Universe gets 1.5. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie, 1.5. Mission Action, 3. Mission Action 2, the beginning, gets 1.5. He thinks Mission Action, the first film, was better than the second movie. This is what he says. Cheap, bloody, and brutal, part exploitation flick, obsessed with cruelty and torture, part serviceable actioneer with G.I. Chuck doing what comes naturally. Mission Action 2, the beginning, exists in the dark, scary place that only Chuck fans dare enter. You know what? No, it's a good action movie. You fucking moron. Money Train, 1 star. Moonraker, 1.5. Mortal Kombat, 3. He actually likes Mortal Kombat. I'm surprised. Foon's Loaded Weapon 1 gets 2.5. Navy SEALs gets 2. That's one of my favorite movies, and he's all like, fueled by mindless heroics and flashy pyrotechnics, the movie scrapes by with a number of lengthy G.I. Joe battle sequences, offering him a minimum wage of entertainment which stands somewhere between acceptable if you're desperate and not really worth the effort. Wow. Really slamming Navy SEALs. No Escape gets a higher rating than Navy SEALs. No Retreat, No Surrender, 2 stars. No Retreat, No Surrender 2, Raging Thunder, gets 1.5. Sorry, dude, that one's better than the first film. He gives Nowhere to Run with Van Damme, which I thought was a pretty underrated flick, 1 star. This is what he says. The action, he's all like, had the screenplay been even remotely interesting and not clumsy half-baked joke that it is, really? I thought it was an interesting screenplay. The performances might not have appeared so amateurish. Joss Ackland, preeminently typecast in villainous roles since Lethal Weapon 2, hulks around the movie like Jabba the Hutt on a bad hair day. However, Zena Arquette provides a textbook example of miscasting a talented actress who is entirely out of place in this movie and visibly uncomfortable and called upon the strip for her hero. Van Damme, meanwhile, handles the action like a pro, and the dialogue is like a tree stump, parading his naked butt as if we'd never seen it before, and delivering tacked-on one-liners with all the enthusiasm of a cow in abattoir. The action, when it comes, won't send you to sleep, and there's a fairly decent bike chase in there too, but honestly, why bother? You know why bother? Because it's a fucking Van Damme, and it's an action movie. It's not meant to be fucking Shakespeare, you goddamn fucking moron. The Octagon, 2.5. Octopussy, 3. Deadly Ground, 1 star. I don't care for the movie, but it's not that bad. Under Majesty's Secret Service gets 3. Yeah, Under Majesty's Secret Service, one of the worst Bond films, is better than Broken Arrow. I just can't. Or Navy SEALs. Only the Strong, 1.5. Out for Justice gets 3. Wow, I'm surprised he gave one single fucking Seagal flick 3 stars at least. Passenger 57, 3.5. Passenger 57, 3.5? 3? That's better than Cobra? No! Perfect Weapon, 2.5. He doesn't even do a review. He just does fucking, stuff from the dictionary and uses it as a review. I'm not fucking kidding. This is his fucking review of A Perfect Weapon. That's it. It's not even a fucking review. Fuck this guy. Police Story 4. Story 2, 2.5. Police Story 3. Super Cop 3. Posse gets 2. Predator gets 4. Predator 2 gets 3.5. Punisher gets 1. The one with Dolph Lundgren. He says, charmless and unimaginative, Goldblatt's live-action disaster looks cheap and thrown together. A big fat zero in the screenplay, production design, and performance departments. To make matters worse, the Punisher's trademark skull insignia is missing from the Lundgren's outfit. A further sign that awful movie is incapable of doing justice to one of Marvel's comics' most interesting and most violent heroes. No. There's a reason why. The Quest, 2. The Quest gets 2 stars. Wow. It's a high rating for that movie. Rage and Honor, 3.5. Raiders of the Lost Ark, 5. Rambo First Blood Part 2 gets 3. And Rambo 3 gets 3.5. I like Rambo 3, but that's not better than Rambo 2. Rapid Fire gets 4. I am totally surprised he likes Rapid Fire. Raw Deal gets 2.5. Red Dawn gets 3.5. Red Heat gets 2. Red Scorpion gets a half star, which is fucking bullshit. Because his movie is actually pretty cool. If it sounds like torture, that's because it is. A heavy-handed flop, in fact, worth missing by all. No! It's one of Lundgren's best films. He likes Remo. He gives it 3.5. Cool. Red Sonja gets 1. Renegades is 2.5. Return of the Jedi gets 4.5. Why are the Star Wars movies in here? Ricochet gets 3. Roadhouse gets 4. Robin and the Prince of Thieves gets 3. RoboCop gets 5. And RoboCop 2 gets 1.5. He says, there are times where this movie doesn't stink. When the action rises above average, when a clever mind manages to surface, but it's just not enough. After all, why waste your time with one when you can watch this one when you can be watching the original instead? 2 is a loser, and then this shit. RoboCop 3, 2.5. He thinks RoboCop 3 is better than RoboCop 2. The Tin Man returns for a third round public service in this moderately enjoyable action here. So-so sci-fi spectacular, which improves upon the last entry in the series. No, it doesn't. Although neither could ever hope to improve upon or even equal the original. I cannot believe this fucking moron is saying shit like... Really? At best, though, the movie's quite exciting. That's my feelings for the movie. This fucking offer at times. Like, it's uneven. He writes but most of the ones that the mainstream films that everybody knows about in the action genre, he gives props to. But the lesser known ones, or the underrated sort of ones, I mean, I'm surprised like American Ninja and Blind Fury, there's like a few, or Rapid Fire, but the lesser known ones were considered classics, he just bashes them or some shit. And RoboCop 2 is not that fucking bad. RoboCop 3 is not a 2.5 star flick. That's what he says. At best, though, the movie's quite exciting, fairly slick, and perfectly watchable, but nothing to write home about. So adjust your expectations accordingly. Exciting, slick, watchable. It's not neither of those things. The Rock 3 stars for The Rock. Romancing Stone gets 4. The Rookie gets 3.5. Rumble in Bronx gets 3. Runaway gets 3 stars. Runaway Train gets 3. Running Man gets 4. Surprised. Totally am. The Shadow gets 2. Shogun Assassin gets 4. The Shooter gets 1. And I get that's the I don't even know what that movie. Oh, it's the Dolph Lundgren movie that has the alternate title, Hidden Assassin. That's totally understandable. Showdown of Tokyo 3. Psychics 2.5. Smoking the Bandit 3. Sniper 3. Soldier of Fortune with Brandon Lee, which is laser mission, gets 1.5. Specialist gets 3. Speed gets 5. All right, good. Spider Love Me gets 4.5. Star Wars gets 5. Stone Cold 2.5. Bit low for me. Street Fighter 2, way too high. Street Knight 2.5. Basically the same rating he gave for Perfect Weapon. Striking Distance gets 1. I don't think it's that bad. Sudden Death, 1 star. Yeah, Van Damme and Sudden Death, 1 star. One freaking star. That's what Sudden Death gets. 1 star. Time Cop's Peter Hyams drags out and dusts off and carbon copies the tired, tried, tested, and abused, and now sadly tired and stale diary formula for the old pal Jean-Claude Van Damme. And he's basically like, this is what he says. If only it were as funny as it sounds and not a dire plagiaristic knockoff. So because it's like Die Hard, automatically it's fucking shit? Really? Wow. Sudden Impact, 3. Surviving the Game, 3. Taking to Beverly Hills, 1 star. One star. Really? 1 star for Taking Beverly Hills. That's bullshit. A B movie with delusions of grandeur. The Taking of Beverly Hills is so entirely lame and pedestrian that it does have a certain good-bad value, although rather than search through the wreckage of this turkey for scraps of entertainment, why not watch a good movie instead? Well, you know what? You fucking jerk off. Taking of Beverly Hills is a good movie. It's got fucking Epic in the soundtrack. It's got fucking Boomer Hayes. You know, touchdown, asshole. The movie's a fun action movie. And this fucking author doesn't know what a fun action movie is. He seems to be wanting fucking, I don't know, Shakespeare or some shit. Because, you know, doesn't like Cobra. Thinks Punisher with Dolph Lundgren is shit. He pretty much thinks all of Dolph Lundgren movies suck. All of his movies suck. Tango and Cash, he gives 3 stars. Which I think is a little way too low. Tank Girl gets 1, which I think is just bullshit. He gives Teen Agent of Looks Good Skill 2.5. Oh, wow, 2.5. Huh. So sworn he was going to rate it lower. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles gets 3. Terminator Velocity gets 3.5. The Terminator gets 5. Terminator 2 gets 5. They Live gets 3. Three Musketeers, Queen's Diamonds gets 3.5. Three Musketeers, the 90s remake gets 2.5. Three Ninjas gets 2.5. Thunderball gets 2. Tiger and the Beat, which I don't even know what that is, gets 3.5. Time Bomb gets 2.5. Time Cop gets 4. Total Recall gets 4. Toy Soldiers gets 3. Transfers gets 3.5. Trespass gets 2. I think it's just lower than that. True Lies gets 3. Really, True Lies, 3 stars. Under Siege gets 4. Under Siege 2 gets 3.5. I mean, and a really long review. Universal Soldier gets 4. A View to Kill gets 1.5. Okay. I don't think it's that bad. Warlords of Atlantis gets 2.5. The Warriors gets 3.5. Waterworld gets 3. A little bit too high. Wedlock, Deadlock gets 3.5. And Wild Geese gets 3. Willow gets 2.5. You Only Live Twice gets 3. Zulu gets 4.5. And then he does some quiz thing or some shit. Alright, overall it's not the worst ever. But when you have RoboCop from RoboCop 2 on the cover and you have like an extremely fucking negative review on it, you should have chose a picture from the first movie then. Or the third film, because you love it so much. That's the problem I have with this book. It's uneven. It's like literally this guy, he's tongue-in-cheek about all of these action movies. Like he's not really being, you know, I don't know, he's trying to make it of a giant fucking joke at times. And it's like, I don't even think he's not even as much of an expert in the action film genre like he thinks he is. If he thinks Mission Action 2 is shit. But anyway, you know, there's a lot of stuff in this where I'm like, you call yourself, you know, an action fan, and you're like bashing, you know, perfectly good action movies, and not giving some more credit than they deserve. Like Broken Arrow, 1 star, Hard Target 2. Half of Seagal's films are not even above 3 stars, or not even 3 stars. Same thing for Van Damme. I mean, this guy is just uneven at fucking best, and I'm sorry, it just disappointed me. Because when I see RoboCop from RoboCop 2 on the cover, I would think you like the movie, not that you don't like it. What the fuck? Don't put pictures from a movie that you don't even like on the cover of your fucking book. But that's the one thing that really upset me the most, of course. And of course, the really needlessly negative review of Batman Returns, where the guy misses the fucking point, and a 3-star review of Batman, and among other fucking, you know, disasters of fucking ratings in this. But anyway, and it's not just that. There are spelling errors in here, and he's fucked up and mispronounce actors' names, putting actors that aren't even in a certain movie in the movie. Overall, it's readable. It's not the worst book I've ever read, but it is not the book that action movies deserve. Action movies deserve a better author, somebody who knows their action and appreciates the genre and doesn't treat it like a giant joke, which seems like what this author does. So if I were you, if you're a big fan of action films and you see this, you're like, oh, this looks awesome like me, don't do it. Unless you can buy it for like $1 or 50 cents. Don't pay $6, you know, total shipping and handling for this. Because it's just a disappointment. It's a misfire for me. RoboCop 2 on the cover, and it's like, no, the movie sucks. So anyway, thanks for watching my book review on Action, action movie A to Z, which seems to be the only book about action movies out there. What the fuck? We need a better one. We need a real fucking like big book with like awesome color photographs, and like we need like a real good action movie book, because that fucking isn't it. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later. See ya.